Excuse me, Shri.
Could we turn the air conditioning on again, please? Could you turn the air conditioning on again?
It's all right if you see the heat is coming out of the body, and after some time the cool breeze will come out of you. You become like an air conditioner yourself.
Any questions?
Yes, please, one by one, all right?
Excuse me, I just wondered if you could clarify that statement you made before about not bringing social work into yoga or not.
I understand.
You see, the questions are so much repeated now that as soon as you say two words, we know what the question is. It's very common, all right?
He wants you to repeat what you had to say and clarify the difference between social work and God's work.
It's very simple to understand. See, God's work is something that we cannot do. Like we cannot transform the flowers into fruit. It's the living work. We cannot do it. Human beings can't do it. What work we do is dead work. Like a tree is dead, we make a chair. All right? Then we use a chair. Then we become the slave of the chair, we can't sit on the ground. This is man's work. He creates all problems for himself, morning till evening. And God's work is, he solves the problem. But it is not the social work. Now people do social work. They think that, many people believe that if you change the mode of government, for example, they'll change human beings. Now luckily I've traveled all over the world. I've seen all kinds of governments, all kinds. You may call them communism, capitalism, socialism, dictatorism, every sort of thing I've seen. Human beings are just the same everywhere, same greedy stuff. There is no change at all. All exactly the same, little variation in degrees, depending on the breeding they had, education, but mostly they are all just the same. No government can change human beings, transform them. No social work can transform them. No social work can transform them. At the most, supposing somebody is a drunkard. Now, you might, by conditioning and all that, you may just stop his drinking. But the transformation, the kind of a transformation I am saying, which is a living transformation from an egg to a bird, that cannot be achieved. So all the so-called social work is your doing. These human beings have done, so whether you do it or undo it is your job, is your headache. It's not the headache of God. It's your doing. But when you bring God in between that, this is God's work. This is your work. That's all you can say. It's not God's work. God's work is fantastic. You cannot do it. I'll tell you how after realization. I went to a village called Rahuri, and I was going through an agricultural area. Suddenly I saw a beautiful farm, and I said, whose farm is this? They said, this belongs to one of the Sarjogis. So I asked the Sarjogi, what did you do about it? So he said, nothing, I just vibrated the water of my well, and that vibrated water is doing all this. And I am not using anything like artificial manuring or any hybrid stuff, because it doesn't have the taste. And the color of the whole thing was so beautiful. And the wheat was just like pearls shining. I was myself surprised at the luster. So this is God's work. This kind of a work we have never seen before, so we don't know. Just touching somebody, you can cure. Talking on the telephone, you can cure people. That is God's work. But social work is artificial. You can make chairs, you can make beds for the sick, you can make a hall for the sick. This is human work. It's nothing to do with God. You are the ones who have created poverty, richness, this, that nonsense. You have done it. God has not done this. So you better face it. And you correct it. That's your level. But God's level is very different. He does fantastic things. Also I'll tell you, there are people who came to me and in the front row they were sitting and were just jumping out of their chairs. I said, what's the matter with you? They said, our Guru has awakened our Kundalini. I said, what? Yes, it is written, he showed me in the book, that when your Kundalini is awakened, you have to jump like a frog. Can you imagine? I said, are you going to become a frog? Anybody can jump. What is so great about it? Even you can little bit jump like the horse people do it. They develop a kind of a myelin sheath and they can jump like that. So what is so great? Is this what God is going to give? So all these nonsensical things that we do in the name of God, we are just wasting our energy. Better do it yourself. It is your job. God's work is fantastic, and that can be only done by people who have got the spirit shining in them. Cannot be done by others.